Hello and happy Wednesday. I'm back with another in my car edition of the New York Times Daily Solve. It is thankfully quite a bit cooler today than it was the last time I did one of these, and relatively quiet where I am. So hopefully that will stay the same. It is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, and our crossword today is by Ben Zimmer and Zach Sherwin. It is a Wednesday, so it'll be a themeless puzzle, I believe. And so just a little bit of fun wordplay and the usual shenanigans. So let's get right into it. Here is our Wednesday crossword. Besmirch. Oh, goodness. There was a time when I knew exactly what this meant. And at the moment, it's escaping me. That's too bad. The sound of a bass drum. I wonder if there's some wordplay here. I mean, I would want this to be something like thud or boom, or I'm not sure what they're after. Challenge accepted. It's another way of saying challenge accepted. I will, or something like that. Let me check it down here. A flanged girder. Is this an I-beam? A girder is an item used in construction, a sort of a support beam, perhaps. This might be an I-beam, which is just a beam that's shaped like an eye in 3 dimensions, I guess, something like that. What about this? Healthful snack brand. I'm not sure offhand. Home to the Museum of the Portuguese Language. Oh, goodness. That's unexpected. That's unexpected. Huh. Bill promoting science education. And this is, I think, a play on words. I think we're looking for Bill Nye here, I think, and not a bill like through Congress. But let's see. Like avaricious eyes. Beady? Avarice is greed, I think. Does someone who is greedy have beady eyes? Is that a thing? I'm not sure about that. Where on earth? That's another fun play on words. I think what they want is erode here. Whoops, daisy. Meaning this is sort of wear and tear on a piece of earth, maybe on a sandbank or like the shore of a river or something like that. It can erode, and that would be wear on the earth there. That's unexpected, could be odd. Challenge accepted. And now I want it to be something like you're on or we're on or something like that. I'm not seeing this still. How about this? Big name in Dadaism. I don't know. Dream a Little Dream of Me, singer of 1968. Familiarly. Goodness gracious. I can hear the song in my head. I have no idea who sings it. Is that from a musical? 1968. Who would that have been? It's eluding me. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at some other downs here. Tex-Mex treat. Nachos? Maybe? What is this? The Historic Agreement of 1215. 1215. Oh, goodness. Okay. Through the Fog It Came in part 1 of Coleridge's The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I have not read Coleridge. Let's borrow. To let someone borrow something. Lends out or what silken tofu may replace in vegan recipes? I should know this. Silken tofu, soft tofu, egg could replace egg. So this doesn't look like, maybe not nachos then. Tex-Mex. What about this? Like a clock with hands. Like a clock with hands. Analog. So as opposed to a digital clock, a clock that has hands is an analog clock. Okay, that works. Miscellaneous collection. What is this? Like a hodgepodge or a something like that. Is this Ana Cabrera? I'm just going to put it in because that's as good a guess as any with an N in the middle and 3 letters. Still don't. Is this the Magna Carta? I had thought maybe that. No, it doesn't work anyway. I thought of that maybe, but I thought that was earlier. I thought that was in the like 1000s, 1000s. This could be a tamale. Maybe, even though I'd wanted this to be Magna Carta, and it's maybe not. It doesn't fit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what if this is tamale? Let's borrow. So this does look like loans or something like that. Miscellaneous collection could be ragtag. So to besmirch, to tar? That's a little weird. This does look like it's going to be ragtag. Let's put it in and see if the rest of this works. One of the Bobbsey twins in children's literature. Bobbsey? Children's literature. Seems like a British thing. Expansive parcels. Boxes? That seems a little too specific, and the X doesn't look good here. Drive back. So this could be like about sort of returning to the place from whence you came, or it could be to hold back as an opposing force, to fight off somehow, but it's not helping me. But this expansive parcels, this S here probably is correct then, if this we're looking for a plural here. Okay, love in emoji speak. Heart, is it just that? This could be loans to. Even though let's borrow doesn't necessarily take an object, grammatically speaking, and loans to would need to take an object. Loans to someone, as opposed to if you, let someone borrow. Yeah, sure. Okay. Tool for removing a tree stump. Again, I want this to be some kind of a, tree stump. Like a bulldozer or something? MLB team that retired Strawberry's number 18. Darryl Strawberry, I believe, played for the Mets. And that fits. Substance in stars and neon signs. Helium? Isn't neon in neon signs? Maybe it's not. And what else is in stars? Hydrogen, helium. That's kind of mostly it, isn't it? What? Let's put it in. See what happens. Drive back. Oh, no. Maybe this is... Okay, maybe drive back is to repel. And then maybe this is something like... Womp? I don't know. And I don't know then what this would be. PL, substance in stars and neon signs. That doesn't look right either. Maybe repel is not right, but I don't have a better guess right at the moment. Oh, did I look at this? One of the Bobbsey twins I did, and I have no idea what that is. Okay. We gotta move on. somewhere. Frog's Friend in an Easy Reader Classic. Is this The Wind in the Willows? Who is Frog's? Or was that Toad? I want this to be something like Mole. I'm not sure. Frog and California blank, abstaining from everything but cannabis, say. California vegan? No. California, this seems like it's going to be like a sort of a tongue-in-cheek label, but I'm not sure what it is. Nail polish brand with a Millennium shade. I should really memorize. There's 2 nail polish brands that show up in the New York Times crossword, and I should probably memorize them. The one of them I think is Essie. The one I think starts with an O, but I don't really remember what it is. Quietly added to a thread. So this is probably BCC, blind carbon copied in an email chain. Okay, what else do we have here? A source of prophecy. An oracle or a prophecy, crystal ball, or a seer or something like that. Source of prophecy. I mean, a prophet, but I wouldn't be that. Ethnic group of Rwanda. I don't want to guess. It's just outside the tip of my tongue here, but I'm not going to guess. Part of a dance. A step could be a part of a dance. Questionable in modern lingo. Sus. Short, I think, for suspicious. Is this the Hutu or Tutu or something like that? I think this is going to be a U as well. Who is this? Formally forces out. I would have thought this would be like votes out, or to oust, or to top selling musical artist of the 2010s. 2010s. Would this be Taylor Swift? I don't know what that would make this then. Onomatopoeic breakfast trio. Oh, are we looking for snap, crackle, and pop? So what's going on here? Is there a theme today? There is a theme today. Okay, I can't remember. I thought Wednesdays were themeless, but clearly I'm mistaken in some sense, because I'm looking now at 58 across, an incentive to stay indoors on a sweltering day informally, or a hint to 4 squares in this puzzle. I have a feeling there's going to be a rebus. An incentive to stay indoors on a sweltering day might be air conditioning. And I wonder if there will be a rebus. So a rebus is when you enter more than one letter in a single square, and that comes up sometimes in the crossword. And how do you know that you're supposed to do it? Well, I mean, I looked at Magna Carta and I swore that this was going to be it, but then when I tried to fill it in, there just aren't enough squares to do it. And then similarly here for snap, crackle, and pop, there just aren't enough squares, even though I'm fairly certain this is the right answer. And I wonder if that means that A and C need to be in the same square somehow, like that. And so I used a keyboard shortcut, but you can use the rebus thing up here to do that. And that would let it fit. Usually in a situation like this, that would mean that the A and the C will apply in both directions, to the across and to the down. I'm not necessarily sure that's the case, although this could be tracts, as in tracts of land, which would be expansive parcels of land as opposed to parcels that you get in the mail. And then this could be a thump, the sound of a bass drum. This could be plasma, which I believe you could see in stars and in neon signs. And then through the fog it came, the rhyme of the ancient mariner. This looks like it's actually going to be albatross, and so not rag tag, but maybe something bag, a miscellaneous collection of something. And maybe that's not an R. I'll go back to that in a minute. So this would be one of the Bobbsey twins would be Nan. Sure, why not? And then a tool for removing a tree stump could be an uprooter. Makes enough sense. So what the hell is this then? Miscellaneous collection. Something bag, a tag bag? Maybe it is rag bag, nag bag, mag bag. I just have no idea. To besmirch. Maybe it is to tar. In the sense that, okay, besmirch could mean to like insult someone or to speak ill of someone. And in that sense, tar could be to tar someone's name. It could be. I'm going to put it in. That'll be the first thing that I come to, at least for now, if I fill the whole grid out and it's not correct. Still don't know what this is. Got some more letters here. Frog's friend. Maybe it is frog and toad. This I don't think then is the Wind in the Willows, but maybe it is. And then a source of prophecy here could indeed be an oracle, which is one of the options that I had earlier. California sober, then this looks like it's going to be abstaining from everything but cannabis, say, as I suspected, a tongue-in-cheek answer. Top-selling musical artist of the 2010s then looks like it's going to be Adele, which makes more sense. Yorkshire metropolis. Yorkshire is Leeds in Yorkshire. That's the thing that looks like it's going to fit here. In Yorkshire County, I'm guessing, in the UK. Marked in a way. Marked in a way. I don't know what they're looking for here. Formally forces out. Evicts? Maybe this isn't step? No. Sao Paulo could be the home to the Museum of the Portuguese language. It's in Brazil. They speak Portuguese there. Why not? Challenge accepted. It's on. Okay, so not we're on or you're on, but it's on. That's fine. Healthful snack brand. Still not sure. Big name in Dadaism. Still not sure that either. What is this? Oh, here's, okay, Dream a Little Dream of Me, singer of 1968 is going to be Mama Cass with another rebus. And then this, Terra Chips. Terra Chips are these chips of like root vegetables, like sweet potatoes and taro and stuff like that, beets. Hutu, okay, I was pretty close there. Okay, marked in a way as X'd. X marks the spots. If you X something, you X'd it, you marked it, that's fine. And to formally force out is exiles. Okay, that's great. Okay, that first half of the puzzle took me a while, my goodness, but I think that's because I wasn't expecting a theme and then we got one, so that's fine. Is this OPI? OPI or OPY? I think I makes more sense. Facility for outpatients, a clinic of some kind where patients who are not are not inpatients, are not staying at the facility can come and visit. So a clinic, although I imagine you can have inpatient clinics as well. Maybe they're called something different. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. Legato notation in music. I think they're looking for slur here. Not the only way you can notate legato. And in fact, legato has a slightly nuanced different meaning than slur. But for the purposes of a lay crossword solver, I think this is what they're after. Tax Prep Pro is a CPA, a chartered public accountant, professional accountant. I'm not sure which. Delay deciding informally. To punt. Sometimes they use this metaphorically. I mean, a punt is a football term for kicking a ball sort of down the field, and metaphorically this can mean kicking a decision or some other task down to the next opportunity, not wanting to do it in the moment. Tripled and then tripled again. 9-tupled? What is 9 timesed? I don't know what exactly. Probably 9 something. 907 for a high one. Area code, and so we want the rebus in here again for the AC. A high one is 907. I mean, is it just a high numbered area code, or is it a reference to a high altitude location? I actually don't know where the area code 907 is, or is it somewhere where marijuana is legal? I don't really know what they're after here. But it's an area code anyway. Olympic blade. An épée is an Olympic blade that you might use in fencing. And there's also Olympic blade here, a blade in quotation marks. They might be looking for an oar here that you would use for Olympic rowing, which can be called a blade. I don't know that necessarily they needed the quotation marks here. I would have been fine without them. I think that's what they want. Popular stocking stuffer. So here they want not what goes in the stocking, but the person who does the stuffing of the stockings. I mean, usually parents, but at least sort of figuratively or mythologically Santa Claus, I think is what they're looking for there. Get the edge over. Get the edge over. Like to get a leg up on, something like that. Outdo, maybe? Let's see. A bad bug. It could be a flu. This could be 9-fold, so you can say like 2-fold or 3-fold, or just a generic way of saying times or multiplied by. This just look like it's going to be outdo. Because this one here, concerned for an Allied ship in World War II, would have been a U-boat, a German U-boat. A team for gymnasts Biles and Childs, Simone Biles and I want to say Jordan Childs, but I'm not 100% sure, is Team USA, both athletes for Team USA in the Olympics. Cheers in Chiapas is salud in Spanish. I'm not exactly sure where Chiapas is, but certainly they must speak Spanish there. Ergo and so, and to blacklist is to ban. Okay. Acquisition that may solve a mouse problem, a pet cat, though in my experience, cats do more playing with and torturing of mice than actually killing them. And that probably wasn't the case back in the medieval era when cats maybe were more popularly domesticated, or first most popularly domesticated. Although I think there's evidence of pet cats as far back as the classical and ancient times. Anyway, I just know that, like for instance, during the bubonic plague, it was sort of became advisable to get cats to try and catch the rats that would spread the plague. Anyway, flashy fish. I'm not sure. Bird-related is avian, an adjective meaning bird-related. Blank got some difficult days ahead. We've got some difficult days ahead. I can imagine Martin Luther King Jr. saying that rings a faint bell, though I'm not super familiar with that particular phrase. Don't let up. You've got this. Keep at it, you might tell someone encouragingly. Flashy fish. Is this like a tetra or something? Let's see. Right place at the right time and alter. Oops. It would be the place and the time, or the place at the particular time to do one of the, a sacred rite, in this case marriage. This looks like it is going to be tetra. Blank Dune cookie brand, not sure offhand. Bit of gear for Vermeer. Vermeer was a painter, I think, so I think they want palette here, a palette for paints. Lorna Dune, that's what this is. Cookies. 2008 romantic drama starring Joaquin Phoenix and Gwyneth Paltrow. Something looks wrong. Maybe this has keep on it, not keep at it. That looks a little better here. Okay. Incentive to stay indoors. It looks like it's going to be central AC, central air conditioning. And I'll explain. I mean, it's fairly obvious, but I'll go back over that later. First Lady of Italy, Eva Peron, I guess. I think. Opera with a baritone Iago is Otello. Verdi's Otello, based on Shakespeare's Othello and the character Iago. Is this Two Lovers, maybe? Quickest way to Harlem in song is the A train. Take the A train. Quickest way to Harlem. Former stray often could be a rescue, as in a pet. Simu Liu portrayed Ken in Rival Ken in Barbie, and also normal Ken. A person's soulmate with the one is what we're after there. So let's see. Okay, so a theme on a Wednesday here. Maybe Wednesdays sometimes have themes and sometimes don't. Or maybe they always do and I'm just making stuff up. Who knows? Anyway, the theme for today, an incentive to stay indoors on a sweltering day, is central AC, informally, for central air conditioning. And each of the theme clues, although sometimes the theme clues sort of highlight when you click the revealer here, when you sort of hover over the revealer here, but in this case they are not. And I suspect that's just because it would make it a little bit too easy. But in any case, what is going on here is that the center of each of these clues has this AC rebus in it, right? So the very center of this word area code, or the phrase area code rather, has the rebus right in the center. Here, snap, crackle, pop, the rebus right in the center with 6 letters on each side. Mama Cass, Dream a Little Dream of Me, singer of 1968, with the AC in the middle, and then finally the Magna Carta with the AC in the middle. So it took me, again, just because I wasn't expecting a theme, I think it took me a little bit longer than I would have liked to figure out that there was one and to figure out what was going on and how to enter these clues. But once I picked it up, fairly easy, I think, especially because I was reasonably certain about Magna Carta and quite certain about snap, crackle, and pop. There's really only one answer for this clue. Once it became obvious that there weren't enough squares to put in the entries that I knew must belong, that there was something else going on, and so that helped me out there. And as usually happens in these kinds of things, the rebus works in both directions. In fact. Oh, really nice. Okay, so it's actually in the center of all of these clues. So this one too, expansive parcels, tracks, it's right in the center of the AC. Here, healthful snack brand, Terra Chips, right in the center. Here, Oracle, again, right in the center. And here, Santa Claus, right in the center. So it does work in both directions, that this AC sort of forms the center of the across and the down clues. So that's quite well done. Yeah, all right. So good. Nothing, I'm trying to think if there's anything. This one was weird. Beady eyes for someone who's avaricious or greedy. I don't know if that was a thing. This one I don't really know. A big name in Dadaism, ARP. I don't know about that. What else? I liked analog. I've never heard the phrase rag bag before, but sure, I guess. This one is still like just on the periphery of my memory, Frog and Toad. It does sound familiar, but I'm not sure what that's from. What else? I liked this pair of clues, an Olympic blade, an épée, an Olympic blade, an oar. That's good. And then the rest of it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, a pretty interesting, intriguing theme for our Wednesday in this puzzle by Ben Zimmer and Zach Sherwin. And I'll try and do maybe one more of these perhaps on Friday. But until then, I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday or whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.